Hello, hope you're having a great day. Now, this morning, there's been a noticeable improvement about how I'm approaching my morning routine, which I'm really grateful about. I did wake up at 7:30 yet again this morning, and I did end up sitting on the end of my bed, just having this internal war with myself. Half of my mind telling me to go back to sleep, and half of my mind reminding myself that if I go back to sleep, then I'll be a rested loser, and what I want to do is be a tired winner. But you know what? I only had to sit on the end of the bed for 10 minutes instead of the 20 or 30 minutes that I usually do. And then I got going at 20 to 8. Now, by the time I'd gone to the toilet and then weighed myself and then gone into the kitchen and had pints and pints of water, as well as my salt water and my vitamin C, and then brushed my teeth and then got all my layers on to go for my walk around the block, it was 8 o'clock. But, sometimes it's sort of 8:15 or 8:20 when I get to that point. So, yeah, I was still sort of, well ahead of where I otherwise could be. Because, as I say, I was only having that internal battle with myself for about 10 minutes before I got going, which is awesome. Now, yesterday I was listening to a lot of motivational stuff from Wes Watson, and it's kind of reinforced my belief that I've taught myself and learnt from things like him, that the answer to contentment, especially for a man, is through pain and suffering. We are built for pain and suffering. We are built for a much harder life than we now have to live. Now, I know some people have got it harder than others, but ultimately, even people living hard lives, certainly here in England, are living a way easier life than the human body is built to withstand. And what I've learned, through my own life is that when you're seeking pleasure all the time, for me, I've spent a lot of my adulthood seeking pleasure through external chemicals. When you're seeking pleasure all the time, it only leads to unhappiness. You won't live a content life. Whereas if you're putting yourself through pain and suffering every day, like I do nowadays, that's the way for you to find proper enlightenment in your life and find contentment. Especially if you're a man, you're built to suffer. You're built to grow through hardship, right? And one thing I've been kind of keeping in my mind is that pain equals, I don't want to say happiness, but pain equals contentment. Pain equals success. Yeah. And, you can use that when it comes to persuading yourself to do your workout every morning, right? Because that is painful. You can use that when you're persuading yourself to jump in your cold shower every morning, because a cold shower, is suffering. But you can also use it to persuade yourself or encourage yourself to do some of the other things you need to do every day that aren't necessarily painful or don't necessarily cause you suffering, right? Like when I'm sitting on the end of the bed, trying to battle my mind and just trying to not go back to sleep and just waiting in a way until I'm ready to actually get up and start my day. I remind myself that pain and suffering is the answer to contentment. So if pain and suffering is the answer to contentment, well, pain and suffering is a lot harder than just getting up and starting my day. So then I'm able to get up and start my day. The same with, writing in my gratitude journal that I do every day after my walk, and then meditating every day that I do after writing in my journal. They're not causing me pain and suffering, but, they are way easier than some of the other things that I do that causes me pain and suffering. So it's the same principle applies. If pain and suffering is what I need to do, cause myself every day to give me contentment, then what's having a meditation or writing in a journal compared to that? That shouldn't be an issue at all. I better answer my phone. That was actually the guy that works for one of the companies that supports me by giving me materials and stuff to work on my cars in exchange for promo on the other channel. But yeah, to summarise, what I'd say is, if you want to better yourself, if you want to turn yourself into a stronger human being, especially if you're a man, then you do need to cause yourself daily healthy suffering, whether it be, doing workouts to make yourself stronger, whether it be jumping in a cold shower every day to sort of practice battling your mind, putting yourself through discomfort every day is the answer to build yourself into a stronger human being, in my opinion and from my experience. But you can use knowledge of that fact to get you through some of the other things that you know you need to do every day that your mind might persuade you is ridiculous, or your mind might persuade you don't have time for, etc. You can remind yourself that, hang on a minute, well, pain and suffering is the answer to contentment. So this other thing, or these other things that I know I need to do, which are also going to strengthen me or make me into a better person, then they're easier than the pain and suffering that I need to cause myself every day. So they're no problem either. In my example, when I'm sitting there and I'm having that mental battle with myself, half of my mind telling me to go back to bed like a lazy loser, and half of my mind telling me to stay awake like a winner. That is hard. Like, in that moment, it is hard. But is it as hard as the suffering that I cause myself every day? No, it's not. So that's a reason why I can then get up after just 10 minutes sitting on the bed today, rather than, sitting there for 20 minutes or half an hour having that internal battle. So that's just something that's been going through my mind this morning. But that guy is going to be coming round in about an hour, so I need to crack on with the rest of my morning routine. And as always, after I've meditated, it's time for me to do a workout. I'm going to be doing one of my shoulder workouts today with my really light dumbbells. So I'm going to do side lateral raises. I'm going to sit on the sofa and do loads of shoulder presses, and then I'll pick up the heavier dumbbells and do some bent over rear delt. Do 2 sets of all 3 of those exercises, and then I'm going to go and cause myself some more suffering by jumping in a cold shower. Alright, I am making my way through the traffic, just on my way home after spending all day around the garage. It's been a productive day. I've sort of finished the current stage of the job that I mentioned in yesterday's video that's just taking way longer than I expected, so happy about that. I've dug out a couple of bits to take home with me so that I can crack on with them, and yeah, that should basically end the video that I'm currently working on, which is good. I do need to up my game though, in terms of getting around to the garage and getting stuff done. I'm hoping I can go around there in a couple of days with my beautiful girlfriend Kat to have a shuffle around of stuff, and yeah, get her to help me fit a couple of parts as well. But yeah, I'm still happy that I'm chipping away at stuff, and it has still been a productive day. Got quite a few little bits done, and yeah, now I've just got to make my way home. I still need to finish editing yesterday's video on this channel. I want to get that done as quick as I can, and then make my way straight to the gym and get my arm and chest session done as early as I can, and then I need to much like last night, I need to chip away at some editing, but also concentrate on going to bed at 11 at the latest. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get through this traffic a bit quicker than I was able to yesterday. All right, it is now 8:30 and I'm finally on the way to the gym. Oh my God. Let me just tell you what just happened to me. A series of events. So I went in after I got back, through the traffic, edited yesterday's video on this channel, and as it turns out, my beautiful girlfriend Kat finished work quite early. So before I'd finished editing that video, or whilst it was, the file was creating, my girlfriend walked in, which is great. It means that I can drive her nice modern car that I'm sitting in now to the gym. Then the file failed to create, which it does sometimes. My MacBook just lets me down, so I had to restart that process again, which takes about 15 minutes. And then whilst that was happening, I thought I'll put my car away because I'm obviously going to be driving this to the gym. So I've done that, and then the file had created successfully, so I uploaded it to YouTube. Whilst I'm waiting for it to upload to YouTube, I'm creating the post, etc, etc. And then I was getting my gym stuff ready, and I'm scrambling around looking for this camera that I'm now talking to you on, and I couldn't find it. It wasn't in my bag. I definitely remembered making the clip when I was sitting in traffic, so I knew I had it on the way home, so I thought it must be in the car. Went round to the garage, looked in the car, it wasn't there.
came back round and looked in the house again, didn't find it, went back round to the car again, this time with my phone so I can use it as a light to have a look in the car. Couldn't find my camera. And then I was thinking to myself, I remembered when I pulled up outside my house, I had all my stuff on my roof, and I was trying to carry everything in one go, right? So I thought, oh, I bet I've left it on my roof. And then someone might have, you know, come and seen it whilst I was indoors, whilst my car was outside the front. Or maybe it had fell off the roof whilst I was driving round to my garage, which is just around the corner from my house. So I'm having a look on the floor on the way back, you know, as I'm walking back to my house, and I actually found it on the grass, like literally where I'd parked the car. So, you know, I'd obviously dropped it on the way from the car to the house. So got the camera, happy days. So then I say goodbye to Kat and I jump back in this thing and I can smell dog shit. Look down at my trainer and I've got a load of dog shit on my shoe. So then had to walk back to the house, open up the gate to get to the tap round in the back garden. You know, I didn't want to bring it in the house. You know, it's got dog shit on it. So I'm cleaning my gym trainer with the tap in the garden. And I actually had to do that the other day. So I've obviously trod in the same lump that I trod in the other day. Anyway, cleaned my gym trainer. I wasn't sure whether I'd touch the pedals in here, so ran out to the car with wet wipe, wiped the pedals, went back, and then it's like, oh, my gym trainer's too wet now for me to wear. So I've had to put these other trainers on, and yeah, then I finally left the house to go to the gym. So what a nightmare. Lost my camera, trod in dog shit. I'm laughing now, but at the time, you know, my mind is obviously using all these things as an excuse to not go to the gym, you know, because obviously it's taken me longer. Obviously, you know, the negativity of losing my camera and running around, you know, like stressing, trying to find it. Obviously, my mind's then dragging me into the future, imagining that I haven't got the footage I've been filming. Oh, how am I going to make this video, etc., etc. All stuff that turned out to be irrelevant because I found my camera. And yeah, you know, with the dog shit thing, like, I'm just thinking, do you know what? I'm not going to the gym. I can go to the gym tomorrow. And I'm just having to sort of have this internal battle with myself. It's like, no, you go to the gym. Like, you go to the gym. You don't let this beat you, you know? Like, stop being a pussy. Like, and then, I'll be honest, part of me now that I'm, you know, like, got through it and I'm on my way to the gym, you know, part of me's thinking, do you know what? I deserve these bad things to happen to me. Like, I've lived my life as a waste man, most of my adult life. Like, you know, I deserve these little stupid things to happen to me. I deserve to tread in dog shit and have to go through that, you know. I've lived an adult life where I've always seeked, you know, comfort and pleasure through drugs, etc., etc. So, yeah, you know, I've always had an easy life. I've always ended up landing on my feet, you know. I've never hit rock bottom that some people do, you know, losing everything. So, you know, treading in dog shit, maybe I deserve, you know, little things like that to happen to me. But also, on the other hand, you know, as I've said before, I believe that I only deserve to live this clean and healthy life that I'm living now, this content life that I'm living now, that I'm grateful for every day. I only deserve to live this life if I can continue to make myself into a stronger human being every day, and that's mentally, physically, and spiritually. So, you know, I need these little tests, you know, pathetic little tests really, but in the moment they seem really bad. You know, I need these little tests to test me, to see if I am turning myself into a stronger human being day by day, or if really and truly it's all an act and I'm just a little bitch, you know. You know, am I a little bitch that's going to let a little bit of dog shit stop me going to the gym? Am I a little bitch that's going to let, you know, me having to run around searching for my camera, you know, stop me going from the gym? Well, no, you know, none of those things did. I'm going to the gym super late. You know, it's 25 to 9 now. You know, I was hoping to get to the gym by 7:30. Well, that didn't happen. And I'm still going to the gym. I'm going to get home late. I'm going to shower late. I'm going to eat late. I'm going to have less time, if any time, to dive into some editing. And yeah, still going to try and get to bed at 11, because you know what? Winners don't let things stop them going from the gym. Winners don't let things stop them turning themselves into a stronger human being day by day, you know. And yeah, a little bit of dog shit, it's not a major issue, is it? So I am on the way to the gym. I'm going to be doing arm and chest session today. And yeah, just going to go hard, going to get this done, and yeah, get back home. Alright, gym sesh done, and it is 10:05, unfortunately. Super late finish, so super late shower and a super late dinner to follow, but do you know what? It's fine. The most important thing in my life is my health and fitness, and going to the gym regularly is a massive part of that, so it's absolutely fine. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to do much, if any, editing tonight. I might just import the files, maybe look at some emails and stuff like that. Definitely not going to dive into too much. You know, by the time I have a shower and have dinner, you know, I've got 55 minutes from now until I want to be in bed. So yep, it's inevitable that my work's going to have to suffer. But you know, if that's going to mean, you know, by me going to bed at 11 that I'm going to be able to get up at 7:30 tomorrow, then you know, I can crack on with work in the morning. Got a busy day planned tomorrow. I've got boxing at 12 noon. Got obviously editing to do and whatnot, and I've got a couple of bits that I want to work on at home. But yeah, today's had its tests, you know. Obviously the test I have every day in the morning, getting up at 7:30, passed that. And yeah, what I was working on in the garage today, yeah, what I started yesterday, it's just a mission of a job, and I just had to keep my focus on what I was doing, you know, and just keep my head down and crack on with it. And you know what, I've now got it to a point where it's, you know, the first stage of it is complete, and that job now gets a bit more interesting, let's just say. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who watches the videos on the other channel. But yeah, and then obviously in the evening, what I explained when I was on the way to the gym was you know, testing me, you know, with me not being able to find my camera and then me treading in dog shit. But you know what, life is all about tests. A life without tests isn't a life at all. And the way I see it, I used to fail every test that was put in front of me. You know, just the test of don't put cocaine up your nose. I used to fail that every time, even though I promised myself every time that I was going to stop. You know, I kept failing that test. And nowadays, I welcome any hardship, any test that comes my way. You know, I focus on standing and facing it, you know, as well as putting myself through tests every day, putting myself through pain and suffering every day, healthy suffering, you know, working out every day, cold showers every day, you know, getting up early every day, which, you know, is a test that I seem to be able to pass at the moment. You know, life is all about testing yourself. If you're the kind of person that always seeks comfort, yeah, you're in the majority, because most human beings do live like that, but it's not the way to live. You know, going out, getting drunk, you know, you're seeking comfort. Smoking cigarettes all day. Oh, I can't live without cigarettes. Like, you know, I've been there. You know, I am being a hypocrite, but it's sad and it's pathetic. You know, if it's more of a test for you to go a day without smoking a cigarette, then pass that test. That's a reason for you not to smoke cigarettes if it's harder. You know, if you can't go through a whole weekend without going out and getting drunk, then that's you failing that test. Don't get drunk because it's harder. Don't get drunk because all your mates are doing it and because you'll be on your own at home. You know, don't eat that tasty, unhealthy food because it's tasty, you know, because it'll be easier to eat that tasty food, you know, because it's harder to cook yourself some healthy food that your brain will tell you isn't appetizing. You know, exercise every day because you don't really have time or energy for it. You know, that's what makes it more worthwhile doing. You know, lean into discomfort, because that's the only way that you're gonna build yourself into the strongest human being that you can. And as a man especially, That's the way that you make yourself truly happy or content. You know, it's not about seeking comfort. That's what I've learned over this last just over a year. I'm so grateful that I do look at the world that way, and I haven't even started. You know, I want to keep going. It's amazing how far I've come from a weak little bitch that can't not put coke up his nose, you know, to someone now who literally spends every day focusing on, you know, turning myself into someone stronger. But, you know, I'm still a little bitch in my eyes, and there's still way more growth to go through, you know. So if you look at me and you think, oh wow, isn't he doing well, isn't he strong, oh wow, how does he do that? This is nothing. If you're looking at me and thinking that I'm living a strong life and you know, sort of really going at it, then what kind of weak, pathetic life are you living? You should be aiming to be way further along than I am at the moment, because I'm certainly aiming to get way further along than I am at the moment. But look, it's late, so I'm going to end this video now. I'm going to go home, have a shower, have some dinner. But yeah, as always, massive thanks to everyone who's tuned in. Hope this video has been somewhat helpful or motivational. Feel free to say hello in the comments and we'll have a chat, or get in touch through the other channels if you'd rather talk to me privately. But other than that, I'll chat to you tomorrow.